just the few of my promotion create few of promotional material and have to edit the interview from the last time I did. So let's get
Oh,
started.
wow. Okay.
So first of all, my first question is, can you please tell me about your career journey as event management professional?
Sure. I got into events probably around 1990. Well, let me back up. I have always been involved in events in some way. My parents were educators, and so they were always pulling us into some type of event. In high school, I was chairperson of the prom committee, and then in college, I was one of the business managers for the choir that I sang in. I went to school to become an attorney, but after several internships, I changed my mind. And when I graduated, I have a bachelor's in English. I got into banking and telecom. But I always had my foot in events. I started my own event planning business. I moved to California after college and I came back, and that's when I learned about what was then called the International Special Events Society. It is now called the International Live Events Association. So I joined the association. I got my certification in event planning. I joined committees. I was asked to join the board. And that was really my foray into understanding and knowing that events was an actual industry. A lot of times when people think about events, they think about like weddings and parties, and those are events. But I was more interested in the corporate event path. So I got my certification. I planned several events within my own company, but then I decided to transition into making event planning and meeting planning a career. And I joined a local company, a trade association of home builders here in the Southeast. And from there, I just continued to build upon my career. I then went on, got my MBA in marketing. I got another certification in meeting planning, and I've planned events internationally across the U.S. domestically, but anywhere from Hungary, Germany, Dubai, the Maldives. I've been a people manager up to 24 people, an individual contributor, and I also teach event planning online. I've taught at several universities here in the States, and I used to teach at a university in Canada.
So you are basically a big shot in the event management community.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I feel like you can always learn. One thing I love about event management is that event management is really just project management. It's just specific to events. And from that standpoint, I can take my skill set and go into any type of industry. I've worked in banking, nonprofit, medical, pharma, fintech, cybersecurity. So I am a forever learner. So I'm always learning about different industries, different businesses, really the intricacies of those industries. And so that's what I enjoy about being an event and meeting planner.
So, what's your complete experience look like in just event management as an event management profession?
You said, what is my complete what?
Complete experience, like how many years did you spend on it?
Oh, I have been an event professional for over 20 years.
20 years. Well, that's they'll. I'm just a 25, so they're usually like
Yeah, I've been doing events probably since you were very little.
okay. So like, and can you tell me what's the most expensive event you managed? Like, which event had the most high budget?
So I produced an event for a very well-known software company. I can't say the company name
Yeah,
due
of course.
to proprietary reasons, but it was a 16,000 attendee user conference in Chicago at McCormick Place. And for that budget was about $52 million. That included housing, renting out all of the buildings at McCormick Place. Also, the staff at McCormick Place is unionized. which means that you're having to pay an additional fee based on whatever their schedules are. When you work with unions, there are things that you as the client cannot do. So, for example, you can't always physically take in your equipment into a conference center. You have to allow the union because they have unionized that conference center. So McCormick Place is a convention center. So they unionize that convention center. Then you have to manage registration, creating the registration website, creating the budget, managing the budget throughout the process, then doing your financial reconciliations at the end. Then you have 16,000 people that are going into various educational breakouts. They're also eating breakfast and lunch, and you have to figure out how to move all of those moving parts and people efficiently so that the attendees have a positive attendee experience while not exceeding your budget.
Okay, very insightful. So I want to. So that's a kind of a question from me. It's not in the template, but basically, how do you usually do marketing for your own event management firm, or do you how much time do, basically what I'm asking, how much time do you spend on your own company's marketing, and how much do you spend time on your clients event management marketing?
So right now, I'm not really operating my own event planning company. I work as a contractor for some companies as an event manager. I do have another company. It will include an element of events. My own company now is it's called Mastering Your Job Search, and it's teaching graduating college students how to find employment, just because that industry is so different. So I do online events with that, but I will eventually do live events like, live events where I can actually educate them and teach them and help them get those jobs, career fairs, things of that nature. So in my current work foray, I do assist with marketing events. So I will tell you this: before COVID, events was more focused on event logistics. After COVID, it's more focused on event marketing, meaning that the events that you produce have to yield a return on investment. That return on investment would be prospects for the client, as well as their ability to expand their existing offerings to existing customers. So from that standpoint, I plan companies' presence at various events, trade shows, virtual trade shows, live trade shows, and in that capacity, for example, I build, our exhibit booth at the shows. I've built a 20 by 30 booth. And from that standpoint, I made sure that marketing was weaved or woven into every aspect of that event. So it wasn't just a booth. I had video walls on the outside, on the inside. You pass out collateral. That marketing has to be woven into that. We have demo stations where the sales team will then show different products and services. So I have to be very strategic. I would say I spend about probably 80% of my time marketing my clients' events, and then 20% on my own company.
Yeah, so basically, I was asking this because I have a software, email marketing software, which basically handles your event management, your clients, your attendees, lead nurturing process, which basically means, once they are registered for the event, they're gonna get not emails throughout the week or the schedule that you have already. So I was asking, like, how many attendees do you normally get on your events, like registrations?
Well, it depends. So, for example, when I am producing my customers' um, existence at a trade show, that trade show will have about 5,000 attendees. So as exhibitors, we are able to get the attendee list in advance. We can then go through the attendee list, identify prospects based on a variety of demographics. We can also identify existing customers. And then from that, we create, like I've worked with marketing teams where we have created specialized postcards for the salesperson that says, hey, meet me in booth, I don't know, 92 at X show where you can learn more about this or that program. When I am planning the event and we are inviting customers and prospects, we may have anywhere from, well, it's been both. I've had up to 5,000, and then I've had as little as 100. When you have a smaller amount, that means your attendees are more specialized. They're typically your more C-level executives, your high-touch customers and prospects that you really want to spend more focused time on.
So here's what I get, like, and like, I'm just kind of getting insight for, because my software is particularly designed for event managers, and so that they can manage their own lead email marketing process and their clients marketing process. And so basically what I have a three plan. Basically, for first plan, you can use all the features from automation to creating lead forms. And then there is the it only costs around $13. So I'm asking, how much should I charge for, like, $13? I think too little, but I don't know about the industry inside, like, for
When you say, are you saying 13 like 1-3?
Yeah, 1-3 per month.
Okay, and what do they, is that for everything or for a certain aspect of what
No,
your
it's for everything,
provides?
but you get a limited amount. Like, let's say, you will get you will get 9,000 subscribers list, along with 10,000 email sending credits. Like, 10,000 emails you can send to your list every month.
So is it the list that I import, or are you obtaining the list?
No, it doesn't matter. You can either upload it, or you can create a sign up form, and a customer can fill out their own information by themselves.
Okay, and then for that $13, they can send it out to 9,000 email addresses.
Yeah.
And then how many lists can they upload?
How many lists they can upload? 13 lists.
Okay, so I upload my list, and I have 9,000 emails. Then what type of marketing can I send out? Is it email marketing? Is it SEO? Like, what is it?
It's an email. Like, you can send a series of email. You can personalize it along with based on the information either you obtain it, or they have put it themselves. Like, X a customer, as say he wants to attend a corporate event, and Y says he wants to attend a wedding event. So you can personalize the event. You can only send it to only to the person who opt for a corporate event, and you can also personalize only send to someone who only opt for a wedding event.
So is this similar to MailChimp?
Yes. Why should I,
Okay, so then
things complicated?
So MailChimp would be your kind of your competitor, but your system is specific to events.
Yes.
Do you have any customers now?
No, I just I built it a few months ago.
So what I would do, I would have an introductory rate. So what is your goal? How much have you done any market research?
No, not really though, and that's why I'm having this interviews, so that not only I can help new event professionals, but also get insights about event management itself, because I can only learn so much from books and YouTube videos.
Correct. So first thing you need to do is you need to hire a market researcher from Fiverr to create, to research, because MailChimp is not the only other software system. There are other email systems.
Email marketing system exists that I know of.
You said 3?
No, 14.
So you should get a researcher to research all of those, what their price is, have they changed their price, because you need an introductory price just to kind of like bring event marketers in. And then as you see the success, you can increase it. Those who come first should be grandfathered into whatever that minimum price is. In their research, they should also research what people are paying, what event marketers professionals are paying for the system, how much each company has grossed, as in how much money they have made, how long they've been around. You need to come up with these questions. I can't tell you how much to charge. I mean, what I would pay for it would be different than another, event individual, because you're thinking you have to look at corporate memberships, and then I would say individual memberships. I would offer the two,
Corporate.
because there are still
Okay, let's just say
corporate.
let's
So,
just
like,
say okay,
example,
let me make it more relevant. So I'm looking for more of a to those event managers, those who are a small team and kind of working as individual.
okay, so then you wouldn't want like an agency like Merritt's or Carlson Wagonlit. You wouldn't want that, correct?
What?
You would want like somebody who, so Merritt's is an event planning agency. Would you want them as a customer?
No, like photographers, wedding planners, and
Okay, you want individuals. Okay.
yes.
So yeah, I would still do that research. I probably, as an individual, I would probably pay, because see, like Teachable for my class, I have emailing capabilities with that, and that's only like $59 a month. I would probably start off at $20 a month for individuals. Still do your market research, because that's going to tell you how you can increase it. Because at the end of the day, you want to make money, correct?
Yes.
So yeah, so I would just start it out as a trial. Say you have, this is on a 60-day trial basis, $25, and then from there, you'll see how and if you should increase it.
And one more business that I run, and so basically in a free plan, you will all get all the benefits, but you will just have and get a watermark with, about my which basically plugs my marketing agency. Other than that, you will get all the features that are in any plan. So basically, what my goal is to eliminate competitors, those who hide features through behind the paywall.
Okay, so you said your other business is a marketing business.
Yes.
What type? Tell me more about that.
So basically, it's I just pivot into the event management and landscaping.
Okay, so you provide marketing services to event managers and landscapers.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I even think that this business could work for landscapers, because they, before, when I was younger, they would come to your house and put like flyers on your door. Now, there are a lot of landscaping and a lot of like sole proprietor individual landscaping companies. They can utilize this e-marketing service as well.
I thought, why would they pay for, like, they are very old business, and sometimes they don't even want a headache for doing email marketing at all. But that's a great insight. So let us get to the second question.
Are you recording this?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
You can record that and this as well, so that we will have a more probability of keeping this file.
That's all right. You can send it to me at the end.
I mean, you can record it as well. It doesn't matter. So, what are some of the most significant events you have planned, and what made them successful?
Well, as an event planner, my goal is to create an environment for business to be done. So, for me, a successful event will be one that is under budget. If it is a fundraising type of event, I can't record. It's not allowing me to record. If there's a certain amount of money that was expected to be raised, I want to exceed that amount. I also want to, my stakeholders and attendees to really have positive things to say at the end. Like, the next day, like, that was a great event. It was seamless. It was very easy to navigate. That's what I consider to be successful.
Okay. So, what are some of the biggest challenges? Oh, damn it. Yeah, what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced as event planner and how you overcome them?
Some of the biggest challenges is a limited budget. So you have stakeholders who want to have events on a champagne budget, but they only have enough money for a beer budget. So from that standpoint, I have to get creative, especially with working with my vendors, which would be my venue, my audiovisual techs, catering companies, to say, and I'm very transparent with them. This is the amount of money I have to spend. Um, this is what the client wants. Help me to come up with creative ideas to get as close to what they want, if not meet that. I also do research myself. I follow various influencers. I can really kind of get inspiration from anything, Google, Pinterest, pretty much the whole gamut. And so, really, educating the client for them to understand why they can only get so much based on their limited budget, but always offering them an alternative.
Okay. And that's the third question. What are some of the most important lessons you learned over the course of your career?
Some of the most important lessons is that though this industry looks large, it is very small. So you definitely have to you have to build and maintain your relationships, because you never know, when somebody has moved to another company, a company has been bought. So you're working with the same person that you may have had challenges with. Another lesson that I've learned is effective communication. Really making sure that my stakeholders and my vendors understand what the goal is, so we're all working on, towards the same goal. And then really being able to negotiate contracts. Contracting is very important. Understanding attrition so that you don't get charged fees. Those are some of the important lessons that I have learned from working in this industry.
Fair enough. And now let's get to advice. What advice would you give to someone who is new to event management profession or career?
Advice I would give to them is to join an event or meeting planning association immediately, because that's really going to open their eyes to the different varying opportunities within the industry. They will get to know people in their industry. The people will get to know them, and from them being new and them working with veterans in the industry, it'll really help to grow their knowledge and their career, and their ability to continue to work on different aspects of event planning, thereby increasing their income. Also, they should be open to providing volunteering within the industry. So, we have a variety of fundraising events that could be golf tournaments. We did events with children, things of that nature. So, you definitely want to continue to have a charitable arm. Also, obtain certifications. We have two main certifications, but there's so many more. There's event marketing certifications. There's exhibitor with trade show certifications. Just a lot. So always have a thirst and hunger for learning, because the industry is always growing and rapidly changing.
With regards to education, would you say is it better to do a MBA or maybe BBA versus doing an internship? Like both these things are gonna take time. So what a newly high school pass out should do?
Hmm. I would probably, if I was a new graduate, I would probably do an internship with the company that I would hope to get hired by, who would then pay for my MBA. I would say MBA versus a BBA because you're always going to have to market events.
Yes.
You know, marketing is rapidly changing. I got my MBA a long time ago, and I am now taking more marketing courses. I mean, the foundation of marketing is the same, but nobody really goes back, like, what's it, play the 4 Ps, place, prices, and all that. I mean, that's in marketing now, but marketing is such more advanced. So getting into this industry, and I would gather any, industry, you need to always be open to and willing and execute continuing education, especially, when you get your certifications. You have to do continuing education to recertify.
Okay, so basically, don't put your studies on hold just to do internship and grow in a career.
Correct. Yeah. Don't. I mean, for me, it took me 10 years before I went and got my MBA after I graduated with my bachelor's, because I needed to be clear on what type of MBA. I knew I was going to graduate school. I just didn't know for what. And having that experience, which is why I would say the internship is the first initial good route, because getting that work experience is really going to help you to understand where the industry is right now and what's going to be the next best course of action for you.
Okay. Because the last person I did an interview with, they say that you should start with getting experience rather than spending time on graduation. But you have a new perspective, which is why I like doing this series. Everybody gives a new perspective, and they often try to justify in this based on their experience. It's very nice. But let's get move to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the most essential skills and qualities for an event planner to possess?
Essential skills are communication, both written and verbal, being detail oriented, having the ability to have conflict resolution. You will sometimes have conflicts amongst vendors. Understanding contracts, how to read them and how to negotiate them. And having an open mind. Whenever you plan an event, you're always planning for something wrong to happen. Something wrong is going to happen. But you always have to have contingency plans. Now, the contingency plans that you have may not be appropriate based on whatever the issue is. So therefore, you're going to have to think on your feet and figure it out. And in those times, understand that you don't have to figure it out on your own. Never work in a silo. Work with your vendors, your contacts. Let the stakeholder know what's going on as well. You never want the stakeholder to feel like blindsided by something that has happened. You can just tell them, this is the issue. We're working on it. We should have a resolution within the next 15 minutes or whatever it is. But keep everybody informed.
Okay. So, how can a new event planner network and build a relationship with other professionals in the industry?
By joining those organizations. So that would be Meeting Professionals International. That would be the International Live Events Association. There's also the Certified Event Marketing Association, PCMA. So they should they should research what event and meeting planning trade associations are available. And then they should identify the chapters where they're located, and they should join those chapters.
Okay. And should they consider, building connection online, like, say LinkedIn or I don't know, other communities?
Yeah, that's a great idea. So like on LinkedIn, there are a variety of event planning and meeting planning groups. They should search and join. They should also, create like a digital networking email that may say something like, hey, my name is Kimberly. I just graduated from Clark Atlanta University. I'm a new event manager planner. I'm really looking to grow in the industry. Do you have 10 minutes for a virtual coffee chat where I can ask you questions and really understand your path, similar to what you're asking me.
Okay. So now, what resources and tool would you recommend to new event manager?
So the software that's really the standard in the event and meeting planning industry is Cvent. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I know.
So oh, you are? Okay. Cvent is a project management software that is specific to events. It's been around for over 20 years. It's very user-friendly, and it's very robust. So you can do everything from planning an event from concept to completion. You can build budgets. You can send email and quote requests, RFPs to vendors. They have a really large supplier network where you can, instead of sending manual requests for proposals to hotels, you can create it one time, submit it to their supplier network, and then it shoots out to whichever venues that you wanted to send it out to. If you don't have the ability to use Cvent, you can try other project management software systems such as Asana, Sunsama. There's also a marketing project management tool called Wrike, Wrike. As well as, your usuals, your Microsoft Office, Google Sheets. If you're doing event planning for startup companies, they tend to use Google Sheets more often, or Google software. And those are some of the tools and resources that I would recommend.
Okay, now let's come to my favorite session, which is marketing. How do you market events that you are responsible for?
How do I market events that I what?
The events that you are responsible for.
So it depends. Sometimes, most times I'm working with a marketing department, which would be content and graphics. And so I'll have a meeting with them. I'll tell them, what the goal of the event is, who the demographics are in terms of attendees, and then we'll work together to determine the best way to connect with them. So a lot of people just think because it's a corporate event, you're just going to go on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn people also live on other platforms such as Instagram, TikTok. I can't think of any others. Facebook. So you really want to kind of tailor your marketing outreach to those different platforms. So, for example, for TikTok is mostly video. Instagram is both video and content, but I feel like, the typical demographic of an attendee has a short attention span, so a video is a great way to really capture that. So I may have, an executive come in and do a quick sizzle reel that invites attendees personally to an event. Or they may do a series of videos that we will send out, each day, just a very short snippet. And, of course, I always make sure that I have some type of leadership at my events, because that's really going to show the customer and prospect the company's commitment to the product and the service. And I tend to have the person who's done that e-marketing, that video, be at the event so they can actually connect with attendees. Also, again, like I said earlier, creating those postcards, posting it, on all of our channels, really having that succinct marketing message across all channels, and then working to do event marketing in a variety of content ways.
Okay, and what are some of the most effective marketing strategies for events?
The most effective.
Mainly for corporate and you can say mega events.
I mean, corporate and what?
Corporate and mega events, which has bunch of attendees.
I would say the best marketing would be, I can't say one particular platform, because for those events, you're going to create an integrated marketing plan. right? So you're going to have email marketing, you're going to have video marketing, you're going to do SEO on the website, you're going to have the own landing page and splash page about that particular event. You're going to send out, an invitation for them to come and register for the event on the website. That website has to be not just appealing, but also user friendly. That's an aspect of marketing, because if the attendee gets there and it's difficult to use, they're going to just leave the site and not attend. So yeah, you really have to sit down and, I would utilize all channels. Yeah, email marketing, really working with our community manager to continue to post different things on the different platforms, responding to attendees who have questions, just always letting the attendee know that there is a real person on the other side of that marketing quest.
Yeah. So, how do you measure the success of your event marketing campaign?
I would say the success would be based on the number of attendees that come to the event. And then it depends if it's live or if it's virtual. For both, we do head counts to see, based on whatever, programming, because typically it's going to be an educational aspect. So for my events, we speak on, the different stages at the event, how many people actually came to our, marketing product or executive speaking, how many appointments did we set. From those appointments, how many actually went on to actually sign up with business with us, how many expanded their existing offering. So the success comes based on those different ROIs, attendance, and then spend after the event.
Okay, and what are some of the challenges of event marketing in this digital age?
I would say, you don't want to overwhelm your attendees with just sending out email marketing and, tagging them in IG and all that. You have to find a really good middle ground. You want to stay in front and, capture their attention, but at the same time, you don't want to become overbearing and run them away. So that goes back to, kind of our market research, for some of my events, some of my attendees are more of an older demographic, baby boomer and beyond. And then some are more so like millennials and zennials, and you can't market to each demographic the same way, right? So we really kind of honed down on our attendee list under, kind of getting an understanding of the demographic for each entity, and then we'll invite them both to the same event, but we will split and market to each division differently.
Okay. And now let's talk about challenges. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced when planning an event?
There was an event I did, an incentive trip for C-level executives, their spouses and partners. Our connection flight from Dubai to Mali was delayed, so we had to find other transportation in order to make the opening ceremonies on time. So I suggested that we rent a private jet, and I had allocated for that as a contingency issue in my budget. Not that specific, but just that a dollar amount. The president thought it was a great idea, and we were able to continue on and really, resolve the issue of the attendees being delayed due to the flight and missing those opportunities. Other challenges have been where the room set is not large enough for the number of attendees who may actually attend a speaking session. I've had situations where the air wall wouldn't close all the way, so the speaking was bleeding into each room. So we had to immediately, in the middle of the session, work with engineering to find a way to remedy that. Those are some of the biggest challenges that I had.
Okay. How do you handle unexpected or last minute changes?
So this is something that I was speaking about earlier. You have to go with the flow as an event planner. And I always continue to check in with my stakeholders or with my venues. Like if a venue's doing a renovation, like a hotel may or a golf course may be doing a large renovation, I work with them to communicate and stay up to date so I know what's going on in the event I need to change a venue, which I have had to do in the past. With my stakeholders, they may have a certain goal for an event, but maybe something has changed, a restructuring or something within the company, and they have to go a different direction. So then I have to start by planning all over. So, I try not to let it ruffle my feathers. I just accept the change, identify what I can keep from what I've already done existingly, what I need to change, identify my partners who will help complete the change in this, just keep moving forward from there.
Okay. And how do you maintain composure and organization under pressure?
I mean, I just think it's because I've been doing this for so long. Like, as an event planner, it's very important for you to be calm. Even when there are issues, challenges, and things fall apart, I absorb the information, I identify, a solution. And when I am presenting the issue to my customer, I am being calm. So everything could be on fire behind me, but I am not going to respond that in a way to show that everything is on fire. I'm going to reassure them that I'm going to take care of it. I have, some, whatever staff, team members, colleagues who are going to assist with this. But it's important as an event manager that you stay calm, because when you stay calm, your client is going to stay calm.
Okay. And how do you manage your time and workload?
So you really have to know how to prioritize, because I plan more than one event simultaneously. So I create a project plan for each event, and then from that I look at my dates, and then from that I create what I call kind of like date plans. So I can be working on multiple events in one day, based on whatever my due dates are. Now, I never put down the real due date because something's going to happen. Somebody's not going to show up. I always buffer it with a couple of days, 3 to 4 days, so that if something does happen, somebody doesn't show up, we're delayed, I at least have that buffer. Also, I like to always be done planning 4 to 5 days in advance, because it gives me, again, another buffer for changes, because I know there are going to be changes. Any issues with, maybe my audiovisual tech, staging, lighting, whatever. But I'm always going back to that project plan. I take those days from my project plan and I put them on my calendar. I'm always connected, be it my phone or my laptop, and also, creating a list. So I have multiple ways that I stay organized and really make sure I manage my workload effectively.
Okay, so now let's. These are the even questions that I had, and now let's come to the rapid fire round. So, vegetarian or non-vegetarian?
Who, me, or just in general?
Yeah, what do you prefer to eat in general?
Oh, non-vegetarian. I love meat.
Oh, so, and what's your favorite destination?
The Maldives.
Maldives. And what's the best food you have ate when it could be either from from USA or throughout the world? What's the best food that you ate and where?
Mexican food in Los Cabos. It was just very fresh. Like, I love fruit and I love seafood. And I always find that when I eat in other countries, I don't get sick. My stomach doesn't get upset because there's no preservatives, or very little preservatives. It's all real food. It's all very fresh. So in essence, I love eating anywhere in the world, but I really had a great experience in Los Cabos, Mexico.
Okay, so now let's get to the plugging stage. So what businesses that you would like to share here on this interview?
Sure. I would want to share my business, mastering your job search, helping graduating college students find employment as they approach graduation and after graduation, and helping them to understand the transition from college to becoming a working adult. So my class will be official. It will be live beginning in December. I have worked with some students. One of my students got a job within 3 weeks of participating in the course. So there are a lot of new different techniques. I include, the digital aspect of the event of finding jobs, AI, artificial intelligence, and so really been able to see some really great turnaround on not just getting a job, but really getting great jobs with benefits and transitioning into that work life.
Or and do you have any other business that you would like to share here?
No, I mean I'm a contract event planner, so various companies, large companies as well as smaller companies, will call me to work on their events either for a certain number of months, or I'll work the day of, or I might just plan the event and they will go and actually produce it live. So I'm able to manage and produce and lend my services in a variety of ways. So just look me up on LinkedIn, Kimberly
Okay,
Roberts, CMP.
so now let's come to my plug. So I'm a Mank, and I have created a event mail SaaS software which will help you do your streamline your lead nurturing process through email marketing. I also run a digital marketing agency for event managers. So if you are event manager, or you think one of your connection would might be interested in working with a marketing agency, then hit me up. So thanks a lot for coming to the show, and I hope you have a nice week. And yeah, bye.
Thank you. I really enjoyed speaking with you and answering these questions.
Yeah.